Hello and welcome to this PRINCE2 course by HighTier Training. PRINCE2 stands for Projects in a Controlled Environment. It is widely considered as the leading method in project management and is extensively used in more than 150 countries. Course Objective. At the end of the course, you will be able to understand PRINCE2 elements, terminology and structure, apply the method in different practical situations, discuss the implications of using and or implementing PRINCE2. The knowledge gained from this course will help you to prepare for both the foundation and practitioner exam. There are two exams, foundation and practitioner. You have to pass both papers to get a PRINCE2 practitioner qualification. The foundation exam consists of 75 multiple choice questions that must be completed within 1 hour. 5 questions are trial questions. You are marked out of 70 and the pass mark is 35, which is 50%. It is a closed book exam. There is no material allowed during the exam. It tests your general knowledge and terminology of PRINCE2. The practitioner exam is scenario based. It is still multiple choice. 8 questions to be answered within 2.5 hours. 6 out of 7 themes are tested. The 7 processes are divided into 3 groups and 2 out of 3 process groups are tested. Each question consists of 2 or more sections with 10 1-mark questions. So, you have total 80 marks to score, out of which 44 is pass mark, a total of 55%. It's an open book exam. Only PRINCE2 manual allowed. No other material is allowed in the exam. The exam tests your ability to apply the method to a general practical project situation. The PRINCE2 course is divided into 13 sessions. At the end of each session, there is practice questions. It is advisable to do the practice questions to reinforce knowledge gained and test your understanding. The first session is Introduction to PRINCE2. Session Objective. At the end of this introduction session, you will be able to understand what a project is and the different characteristics of project. The 4 integrated elements of PRINCE2, principles, themes, processes, and tailoring, and finally a high-level introduction to the processes. A bit about how this course is structured. You can use your PRINCE2 manual with this course. As the practitioner exam is open book, it makes sense to get used to the manual so that it is easy to find information during the exam. It is okay if you don't have the manual. On the left hand side of the slide is the topic covered. The right hand is the page number and this is the section number. If you are using a PRINCE2 manual, you can go to page 111, section 1.1.1 on that page to find information discussed on the slide. Some of the terms may be introduced in certain topics, but the detailed explanation will be done later. So, let's begin. First of all, let's understand what a project is. According to PRINCE2 definition, a project is a temporary organization that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. You do projects because there is a business problem, opportunity, or need. There are a number of characteristics of project work that distinguish it from business as usual. Temporary. Each project has a defined start and an end. If projects go on forever, it becomes business as usual or operations. For example, introducing a new model of a car into a market is a project, but the mass production of the car for the same market is business as usual. Implementing a new software in the organization is a project, but supporting that software is business as usual. Change. Projects are the means by which we introduce change. Uncertainty. Since there is change, we are not sure what the change is going to bring. So projects are more riskier than business as usual. Cross-functional. The project is a temporary organization. Projects involve a team of people with different skills and knowledge. They belong to different functional divisions within an organization and sometimes span entirely different organizations. For example, customers and suppliers each has a different perspective and motivation for getting involved in the change. Unique. The word unique refers to the fact that it has not been done before. If you are building two houses with the same architectural design and interior, still these two projects are unique. We can say they are similar but not same. To start with, the site on which these two houses stand are different. One house may have solid rock or rocky construction site, in which case the construction of the foundation will require blasting. What is project management? Project management is the planning, delegating, monitoring and control of all aspects of the project and the motivation of those involved to achieve the project objectives within the expected performance targets for time, cost, quality, scope, benefits, and risk. It is the development of the project's products that deliver the project's results. The purpose of project management is to keep control over the specialist work required to create the project's products or to make sure the roofing contractor doesn't arrive before the walls are built if you are building a house. So, what is it we wish to control? There are 6 variables involved in any project and therefore 6 aspects of project performance to be managed. Cost. The project has to be affordable, and though we may start out with a particular budget in mind, there will be many factors which can lead to overspending and perhaps some opportunities to cut cost. Timescale. The question to ask for timescale is, when will the project be finished? Quality. Finishing on time and within budget is of no use if the result of the project doesn't work. The product should be usable at the end of the project. In other words, fit for purpose. Scope. Exactly what will the project deliver? The customer may assume that, for instance, a fitted kitchen and or bathroom is included in the price of the house, whereas the supplier views this as extras. It is important to understand what is and what is not within the scope. The project manager should take care not to deliver beyond the scope, as this is a common source of delays, overspend and uncontrolled change, scope creep. Risk. All projects entail risk, but exactly how much risk are we prepared to accept? If building the house is likely to affect a protected area or site, the planning authority may not grant planning permission if it damages a protected area or site. Benefits. Why are we doing this? It's not enough to build the house successfully, on time, within budget and to quality specification if in the end we can't sell or rent it at a profit or have the pleasure of living in it. Principles. The purpose of PRINCE2 is to provide a project management method that can be applied regardless of the project scale, type, organization, geography, or culture. This is possible because PRINCE2 is principle based. The principle on which PRINCE2 is based originate from lessons learned from projects both good and bad. They provide a framework of good practice for those people involved in a project. If a project does not adhere to these principles, it is not being managed using PRINCE2, because the principles are the basis of what defines a PRINCE2 project. There are 7 principles. First, continued business justification. A requirement for a PRINCE2 project is that there is a justifiable reason to start it. The justification should remain valid throughout the life of the project, and the justification is documented and approved. If for whatever reason the project can no longer be justified, the project should be stopped. Learn from experience. Repeating steps you got right, not repeating what you got wrong. It is the responsibility of everyone involved with the project to seek lessons learned rather than waiting for someone else to provide them. Defined roles and responsibilities. This helps you to understand what is expected of you and what you can expect from others. To be successful, projects must have an explicit project management team structure consisting of defined and agreed roles and responsibilities for the people involved in the project and a means for effective communication between them. Manage by stages. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It is difficult to plan the entire project in detail. PRINCE2 projects are divided into smaller chunks called stages. This allows to have a high-level project plan and a detailed stage plan. Management stages also provide senior management with control points at major intervals throughout the project. Manage by exception. There are different levels of management in PRINCE2 organization. Project manager is one of the management level. As a project manager, you have certain responsibilities in the project. To carry out the responsibilities in an efficient manner, the project manager should be given enough authority to make decisions as and when required. Responsibility without authority creates an impossible situation where you become a scapegoat when things go wrong and ignored when things are going well. This authority is defined by tolerances, which can be set on the 6 aspects of project performance. For example, if your budget is £100,000 and the tolerance is plus minus £10,000 of the planned budget, as a project manager, you don't have to wait for the decision if there is an extra cost of £8,000 over the planned budget. Focus on products. A successful project is output-oriented, not activity-oriented. An output-oriented project is one that agrees and defines the project's products prior to undertaking the activities required to produce them. The set of agreed products defines the scope of a project and provides the basis for planning and control. Tailor to suit the project environment. Every organization is different. Every project is different. What works for one project may not work for other. In small, simple projects, PRINCE2 can be applied lightly, but in long and complex projects, PRINCE2 can be applied heavily. For example, in simple projects, the reporting can be 5-minute conversation between the team manager and the project manager. But in complex project, it can be long and written. Themes. The PRINCE2 themes describe aspects of project management that must be addressed continually. Any project manager who gives thorough attention to these themes will fulfill the role in a professional manner. It answers all the questions. Why? Who? What? How? How much? When? What if? What's the impact? Where are we now? Where are we going? Should we carry on? At any point of time in the project, knowing the answers to these questions increases the chance of the project's success. There are 7 themes. First, business case. The project starts with an idea, which is considered to have potential value for the organization concerned. This theme addresses how the idea is developed into a viable investment proposition for the organization and how project management maintains the focus on the organization's objectives throughout the project. Answers the questions, why are we doing this project? Organization. The organization sponsoring the project needs to allocate the work to managers who will be responsible for it and steer it through to completion. Projects are cross-functional, so the normal line function structures are not suitable. This theme describes the roles and responsibilities in the temporary PRINCE2 project management team required to manage the project effectively. Answers the question, who is who in the zoo? Quality. The initial idea will only be understood as a broad outline. This theme explains how the outline is developed so that all participants understand the quality attributes of the products to be delivered. Answers the question, what? Plans. PRINCE2 projects proceed on the basis of a series of approved plans. This theme complements the quality theme by describing the steps required to develop plans and the PRINCE2 techniques that should be applied. In PRINCE2, the plans are matched to the needs of the various levels of management in the PRINCE2 organization. They are the focus for communication and control throughout the project. Answers the various questions: how much, and when. Risk. Projects typically entail more risk than stable operational activity. This theme addresses how project management manages the uncertainties in its plans and in the wider project environment. What if things don't go according to plan? This is what this theme answers. Change. This theme describes how project management assesses and acts upon issues which have a potential impact on any of the baseline aspects of the project. Issues may be unanticipated general problems, request for change, or instances of quality failure. Answers the question, what's the impact? Progress. This theme addresses the ongoing viability of the plans. The theme explains the decision-making process for approving plans, the monitoring of actual performance, and the escalation process if events do not go according to plan. Ultimately, the progress theme determines whether and how the project should proceed. Answers the various questions. Where are we now? Where are we going? Should we carry on? Processes. PRINCE2 is a process-based approach to project management. A process is a structured set of activities designed to accomplish a specific objective. It takes one or more defined inputs and turns them into defined outputs. There are 7 processes in PRINCE2. First, starting up a project process. SU. This process ensures that the prerequisite for initiating a project are in place by answering the question, do we have a viable and worthwhile project? Directing a project process. DP. This process enables the project board to be accountable for the project success by making key decisions and exercising overall control, while delegating day-to-day management of the project to the project manager. Initiating a project process. IP. This process establishes solid foundation for the project, enabling the organization to understand the work that needs to be done to deliver the project's products before committing to a significant spend. Controlling a stage process. CS. This process assigns work to be done, monitor such work, deal with issues, report progress to the project board, and take corrective actions to ensure that the stage remains within tolerance. Managing product delivery process. MP. This process controls the link between the project manager and the team manager by placing formal requirement on accepting, executing, and delivering project work. Managing a stage boundary process. SB. This process enables the project board to be provided with sufficient information by the project manager so that it can review the success of the current stage, approve the next stage plan, review the updated project plan, and confirm continued business justification and acceptability of the risk. Closing a project process. CP. This process provides a fixed point at which acceptance for the project's product is confirmed, and to recognize that objectives set out in the original project initiation documentation have been achieved, or approved changes to the objectives have been achieved, or that the project has nothing more to contribute. Throughout the course, we'll be using acronym SU for starting up a project, DP for directing a project, IP for initiating a project, and so on. Key points to remember. As the exam is multiple choice, there is no need to memorize, but it is important that you are aware of the 7 principles, 7 themes, 7 processes, and 6 aspects of project performance or variables. Integrated elements. The PRINCE2 method addresses project management with 4 integrated elements of principles, themes, processes, and tailoring. Principles. Chapter 2. These are the guiding obligations and good practices which determine whether the project is genuinely being managed using PRINCE2. There are 7 principles, and unless all of them are applied, it is not a PRINCE2 project. Themes. Chapters 3 to 10. This describes aspects of project management that must be addressed continually and in parallel throughout the project. The 7 themes explain the specific treatment required by PRINCE2 for various project management disciplines and why they are necessary. Processes. Chapters 11 to 18. These describe a stepwise progression through the project lifecycle, from getting started to project closure. Each process provides a checklist of recommended activities, products, and related responsibilities. Tailoring. PRINCE2 to the project environment. Chapter 19. This chapter addresses the need to tailor PRINCE2 to the specific context of the project. PRINCE2 is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It is a flexible framework that can readily be tailored to any type or size of project. Benefits of using PRINCE2. There are many advantages to using PRINCE2. Some of them are listed here. PRINCE2 can be applied to any type of project. This means that PRINCE2 can be used for projects as small as organizing a party to huge projects such as constructing a stadium for the Olympics. PRINCE2 provides a structure for roles and responsibility. All members of the project team should understand what is expected of them and what they can expect from others. PRINCE2 uses management by exception. This allows the project manager to handle certain project issues. But once an issue goes beyond a certain tolerance, it becomes an exception. It should be escalated to the next higher management level. PRINCE2 has a well-defined structure for reports. It ensures that stakeholders are properly represented in planning and decision making. PRINCE2 is an invaluable diagnostic tool, facilitating the assurance and assessment of project work, troubleshooting, and audits. Remember, PRINCE2 does not define appropriate leadership and motivational skills.